anticipate things.
All right, so Nige back into the Lobo lineup as Erskine picks up her second. Sanford, of course, towing the line, the 6'3" senior. First team all-conference, all-defensive club. Gets the second one down. Well, imagine this. It's tied up again. All right, so you mentioned the low scoring, in your estimation, favors New Mexico?
I think it does because they can maintain control of the game. It means they're not turning the basketball over. I think when UNLV is at their best is when they have extra opportunities.
Nige is able to find Torrance, who lets the defender blow by in the deuce.
That's just a terrific passing, really, for New Mexico on that play. 5 assists already on 7 made field goals for New Mexico. They shared the basketball.
Speaking of nice assists, and that's the easiest bucket Lanita will have all day.
Well, and New Mexico continues to struggle with their rotation defensively. UNLV's bringing everybody high, running that 1-4 high, a little bit of a wheel action and handoffs, and they can't seem to get players over to help and then to help the helper.
And you mentioned, as we just saw, all the points that the Lady Rebels are scoring in the paint. That's really been the difference in terms of them staying hot. And there's Torrance again. What a game she's having so far.
Well, Porche Torrance and Lanita Sanford are matched up against each other at both ends of the floor. And Torrance is doing a nice job of hitting some shots, but also passing the basketball.
Torrance with 8. Zuku can't get the rim shot, but it will stay with. The UNLV crowd didn't like it.
Yeah, well, anytime you get the ball into the post right here, the defenders collapse, and you're able to find the open player. That was against a little bit of a zone trap, and here you go with UNLV. Again, just really late defense, that penetration, effective for both teams.
Thompson driving and kicking. Smith, maybe a little overpassing?
Yeah, maybe in that situation. Actually, the official was blocking my view of the top of the key, so I couldn't see, but definitely looked like the player that was at the top of the key had a shot.
Well, I thought so too. I thought even Thompson might have had action on that baseline.
That's really nice right there.
Oh, way to call it. Nikki Nelson drains the triple.
You know, they're running plays on one side of the floor, so strong side they have 2 players, and then weak side there's a double down pick almost every single time for New Mexico. So they're bringing shooters off that can get looks. They have 2 different options.
Biggest lead of the game for the Lobos at 5. There's the pick. Nige kicks it up to Nelson. Looks away the defender. Garbage time. Torrance with the deuce. And I'll tell you what, Andrea, there's a lot of red in this building, and they seem to be cheering for you-know-who, the Lobos.
Yeah, but look at this great double down pick on this weak side. So Nikki Nelson now with 8 points in the first half, so terrific shooting. And then here, I thought this was a good decision. The defense didn't really pick her up, but a better decision was her teammates following up and getting those garbage buckets. Again, Porche Torrance working very, very hard, changes the game when she is active.
Torrance already has 10 points to lead everybody in scoring. She's almost at her seasonal average of 11. And what do you make of this Lobo crowd? That doesn't surprise you, does it?
No, not surprising at all. A lot of red in here. Well, the seats are red, so it's they sort of get lost in the background, but a lot of Lobo. Look at all of that. They travel so well. A newspaper article in New Mexico and Albuquerque today talking about the fans and how that's such an integral part of success for the women's team. And, you know, we talked to Yvonne. You look at these 2 teams on paper, and this game isn't won by New Mexico. But Yvonne Sanchez knows that she has rested players, a little bit healthier, and they will play hard.
Zuku, big bucket for UNLV to stop the bleeding.
And Zuku's been nice. That down low block area, that 15-foot range. I think that's where the UNLV posts have improved the most from the elbow.
Torrance almost pops it up, but does. Nice pick by Sanford. And oh boy, they return the turnover favor, if you will. So New Mexico has led from the beginning. The margin is 5, and we're burning daylight in the first half.
All right, kids, this one's for you. Raising Cane's is looking for the best chicken dance. So get on your feet, and New Mexico cheerleaders are looking for you, kids. Let's see your best chicken dance. You can put a tailgate deal for your family, courtesy of Raising Cane's, a proud supporter of the Northwest County Basketball Championships.
kidding me?
What's up with Zuku?
Lobos looking for the upset, leading UNLV in quarterfinal action, 26-21. Torrance leading this conference in blocks and rebounds, but she can score a little too, can't she, Andrea?
Well, you know, she's been really active today, and I think it's a bad matchup. You see the terrific job on the inside right there against Zuku. And then here, I just thought a really nice job of, again, breaking a little bit of pressure. She's passed the ball extremely well. She's worked very hard, followed up in transition, and had some buckets just on garbage shots. When you work hard, it seems like the ball sort of falls into your hands a lot of times.
So 10 points for Porche Torrance. She's got 4 boards.
I just think it's an interesting matchup with Torrance and Lanita Samford at one end of the floor. Lanita Samford might struggle guarding Porche Torrance because of her mobility, her ability to pass, knock down 15-footers.
7 on the shot clock. Thompson's frustrated with that call, or was it a kick? Nope.
I just think that I'm guaranteeing you that Kathy Olivier talked about defense and ball pressure during that timeout. And one of the things that I've noticed is there isn't great ball pressure on a Nikki Nelson, on a Lauren Taylor out there, but you have to defend without fouling.
So Thompson will head to the bench with 2 fouls, and keep in mind that UNLV has no bench points right now. Both coaches going to their bench early and often. But I know that Olivier doesn't want Thompson saddled with any more fouls this half. You think she's sitting the rest of the way? That requires an answer on your part.
Yeah, well, I was actually looking at New Mexico right now. They're in a 2-3 zone, and I do think she's sitting. I think that coaches have a philosophy that, depending on how the game's going, they don't play their players. Now, earlier today, we saw New Mexico play some players that were in foul trouble because they just simply cannot go for long periods of time without those players on the floor. But I think for Kathy Olivier, she wants to take her chances in the second half.
I like that. As Nige picks up her first foul, team 6th. To the line goes, I think
it's Danielle Miller right there.
Is that? Okay, there we go. Yep, there's Danielle Miller, 5'8" freshman out of San Diego, getting some minutes.
And plays limited playing time, mostly a backup for Mia Bell at the point guard position, but certainly explosive.
Again, a 1-possession game as UNLV hanging around, trying to get that defense going.
Yeah, better ball pressure, better activity defensively for UNLV. Trapping a little bit, hedging harder on the screens.
Nothing doing there as Zuku is able to rip down the loose ball. And a chance for UNLV to draw closer to perhaps even catch with the 3. Instead, at the rim, another paint point for this UNLV club, and they're down by only 1. Miller, big bucket.
Well, and you know what? Miller is one of those players that isn't afraid to take it to the hoop. In fact, as a freshman, maybe a little too often, she isn't afraid to take it to the hoop, but she's aggressive. If you don't get out there on her, if you don't respect her, she's going to utilize that quickness. Certainly has scoring ability as well, so a nice job right there by Miller to take some minutes, be productive on the floor while Thompson's out.
Hey, coming up on Ram Trucks Halftime Live, Marius, Abby, and Mike all standing by in our Denver studios with the tournament update. We'll also check in with Mr. Bill Dolman courtside to look ahead to the second half.
It's Marius.
What did I say?
Kept company with, yes.
He
needs company. No, you were perfect.
Good. Gosh,
Abby and Mike
almighty.
and Marius in the green room together.
Oh, man, trifecta.
They're keeping each other company.
I'm looking forward to hearing what they've got to say. Mr. Dolman as well.
See the numbers right there for Zuku. 8 points, 4 rebounds, a quality first half there. Number 3 in white.
She's at her seasonal average.
Again, more pressure defensively.
Miller picks up her second foul as Taylor is able to draw that foul.
Well, Lauren Taylor, like I said, she doesn't have a tremendous amount of strength, but there, hands on her, a little bit of body. again. I think a little bit right there you're seeing a Lauren Taylor who's an upperclassman really utilizing her smarts maybe against a freshman.
Yeah, there's your senior out of Indiana. 87% free throw shooter. You like the odds when she toes the line and is able to get both home.
And she looks more comfortable out there. Had microfracture surgery in the offseason, which we know can be difficult to recover from. It's been a bit gimpy all year long, but that rest has really helped her.
You've got some good free throw shooting Lobos. If it comes down to that kind of a situation, you like New Mexico's chances. Long triple. Bell, Zuku there, fresh 30. Miller wanted more, picks up her dribble. Sanford whips it to Bell, who will take the pick. Inside, Zuku. She'll draw the foul. Nicely done.
Boy, Zuku did a nice job of really waiting for the ball to get reversed like that and getting tremendous position. This is going to be great to look at. Look at how far she brings the defense over as she posts up, and the dribbler comes around into the middle of the lane.
That's Torrance's first, team's sixth. Zuku, 69% from the line. Gets the first one home. Well, you got to love the fact that this game has all the makings of something that goes down to a last possession kind of a thing. So 9 points for Zuku. Offensive board for Jamie Smith, one of her specialties. And UNLV within a deuce. We're under a minute to go in the first half.
Well, New Mexico needs to buckle down here this last minute. They've given up 2 offensive rebounds the last couple of times. You can't play great defense and not finish.
Miller telegraphed that pass, and it was easy pickings for New Mexico. Taylor inside, Torrance again.
That was an amazing pass right there by Lauren Taylor, and a terrific job of using that extra dribble to regain the perfect angle.
Torrance now has 12. Lobo faithful standing. The lead is 4. 20 seconds left to go. 4-second differential, game and shot clock. 10 on the game clock for Mia. Shakes, bakes, and finishes. Nifty.
Well, that's sure she's really good. She's hit some game-winning shots throughout the year.
Look at this. Boy, the Lobos wanted an and one. How about the release of Torrance beating everybody wearing white down the floor?
That's the beauty of having a player that at the 4 or 5 position that's very, very quick. A good job of getting the ball up the floor. And again, when we look at that matchup, if she's being guarded by Lanita Sanford, she can beat her down the floor. There's a lot of different ways at the offensive end she can go to work.
12 points for Torrance as she toes the line. 70% free throw shooter. Texas native gets the first one down. Rhodes back in for the Lobos. Brianna Charles checking in for the first time for UNLV. Torrance can't get it down. And that will do it in the first half. Nikki Nelson with the opening salvo and the triple for.
To stay aggressive. New Mexico, of course, doing a nice job boxing out. And she said, we're beating them off the boards, but we need to beat them by more. And
you know, the other thing to add to that, Molly, I would say that she probably talked about defense, because when they turned up the heat defensively, New Mexico started to struggle a little bit. That's going to be a big key here in the second half.
Zuku can't get her done, but Jamie Smith with the carom, fresh 30 for the Lady Rebels, who trailed 31-28 to start the second half. Bell wanted the back door instead. Thompson finishes at the cup.
And that's right there, UNLV basketball. Get the offensive rebound, get a second chance opportunity, and score.
Jamie Smith very quiet in the point production, but she has been getting some rebounds for UNLV.
Caroline Durbin has been matched up with Jamie Smith, doing a nice job, I think, defensively against Smith. Has the size and